Hey, Brandon, how have your first couple of days gone here of practice, and how long have you been in St. Louis?
I've been here a couple weeks now, just kind of getting settled in, and I think the first couple of days went well. You know, it's good to finally be with the group and learn the systems and things like that and be on the ice. So it's been good so far.
Craig mentioned yesterday that he really wanted to see you on this line with Thomas and Tarasenko. What are your initial thoughts of playing with those two guys?
I think it's going to be a fun line. You know, a lot of skill, a lot of speed. So kind of just trying to get to know each other over these couple practice days and get a feel for tendencies and a little bit of chemistry. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of speed and skill. So I think we can make some plays and hold on to pucks out there.
What's that process like when you get new line mates? Obviously, you know of Tarasenko, Thomas a little newer in
Right.
the league, but it kind of takes a while, doesn't it, to know where the other guy is, maybe without even thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like you said, I'm familiar with them, with playing against them, but it's kind of a whole new thing when you're on a line with them and trying to read off each other and kind of make plays out there. But they're great players, so hopefully it doesn't take too long, and just trying to bring what I bring to the table.
Brandon, I think there was O'Reilly who called you a Swiss Army knife yesterday. Pretty good compliment from a pretty good player, I would imagine. And is that how you're going to make your mark here, just to play whatever type of role high up the lineup that you can?
Yeah, that's something that I've always tried to do, with regardless of who I'm playing with or where I fall in the lineup. Just play my game and bring what I can to the team and try and help the team win. So obviously that's a nice compliment from him, and that's what I try to do, is just be an all-around player and help the team.
Brandon, you've been with a couple teams over the years. What are some keys maybe to assimilating as you come into a new town and get to know new players? And kind of as a part two to that, does it help with this particular team, because the COVID protocols on the road have been relaxed for you guys, and you kind of get to go to dinner and stuff together?
Yeah, I think any time over the past few years going to new teams, it takes a little time, but there's a great group of guys here, and seems to be that way in the NHL. With wherever team you go to, you got guys reaching out to you. Sometimes you have a couple buddies already on the team, so it doesn't take too long. You know, guys are all great. Try to get together. Like you said, now it's nice that we can hit some dinners on the road now and get to know each other a little bit better. It was tough during the COVID year, but yeah, just getting a feel for the city, learning your way around, not having to use a GPS as much, things like that, getting settled into the house. So it takes time, anytime in a new place, but the guys have all been great.
When Torrey Krug came here, he moved into Petrangelo's house. Did you do anything like that?
No, I didn't. I kind of got a feel for what was available and where the guys lived, and made a decision based off that. But there really wasn't anything that fit from an ex-player that was available.
Hey, Brandon, I'm just curious, with the amount of teams you've been with, you've seen different styles and systems. I know it's only been a couple of days, but with the systems that they are trying to implement already here early for you guys, do you get a sense already that maybe it's suiting your game?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I thought even from playing against the Blues that I liked their style of play, and then coming in, playing that aggressive style, holding on to pucks, supporting each other in the offensive zone, kind of grinding and wearing teams down. That's all things I like to do. So that's something that's been preached here, and I'm looking forward to getting into the games.
I forgot if we asked you this when you signed on your Zoom call, but do you know any Blues, and has anyone in particular was maybe the first to reach out to you?
I played with Justin Falk on the U.S. national team about 10 years ago, and then Colton Franco on that under-23 team a few years ago. So I got to know him briefly, but besides that, not too many. But they've all been great reaching out. You know, I think I talked to O'Reilly and Chenner, Falker, some of those, the first couple guys that reach out, Krugy. So the guys have all been great reaching out, let me know the area, things to do, kind of learning the lay of the land. So it's all been great.
Have you found a favorite restaurant yet, or a couple places?
Not yet, actually. I've been settled in there. I know we've hit a few restaurants in Clayton. It's been pretty good. It's a nice area, so still learning that aspect.
How do you feel about wearing the number 20 here with Alexander Steen most recently wearing it with distinction?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's something that I asked if it was available because obviously I know the history of it, and it's something that I've always worn, and he was nice enough to let me kind of keep that. So there's obviously a good history of the number, and I just want to represent that number and hopefully have success with it.
So on something like that, do you go to the player directly, or is that something just through the club you asked?
I went through the club. I'm not sure on how different guys do it, but I went through the club just to kind of check in, make sure it was available.
What do you think, last year when you played against the Blues, what do you remember about them defensively last season? Because Chief has talked about doing some tweaks with the defense this year. Do you remember what you saw last year playing these guys?
Not exactly. I know they've always played a kind of tight checking hockey game, and it always seems like when you play against the Blues that they're in the game, and it's always tight checking hockey game, 1-goal game. So I know last year was a little bit different of a year, and COVID year and things like that. But we've made some adjustments. I'm not sure exactly. I'm still learning the system, but like I said, it's always been a team that is always in the game and can check you well.
Let's do two more, guys.
Brandon, I wanted to ask you about the Olympics. I'm guessing there's probably not an NHL player that doesn't want to play in the Olympics. Is that true? Do you like I guess it's like 99% sure you'll be in the Olympics, but I mean, you know, that there'll be Olympics this year. But do you like that? Do you like being able to represent your?
Of course. Yeah, I know. Like you said, it's an honor to be able to represent your country, and like you said, there's not a guy that doesn't want to be a part of the Olympics and get to go out there and wear the flag on their chest and play on the biggest stage in the world. So that's something that if I got an opportunity, it'd be a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
And the fact that there would be a 2-3 week break in the season, especially if a team's going good, is it something that maybe you don't want to happen?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, I think for me, I've been a part of Olympic break before, and I think you just make use of your time. You know, I think guys get a little break. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes, like you said, you're playing well, and it's kind of pausing the season. But either way, I think it's a nice little rest, recovery, get away mentally from the game, kind of refresh. So obviously, you can't plan on how you're playing into it, but that's something where I think every guy wants to go play in the Olympics regardless.